Okay, so today this last week we were supposed to read chapters 8 and 9. Um, what was your guys' favorite thing from these chapters? Whoever wants to start can go first.
I really like the um, sections of people in 9 because when I was reading it, I had so many people come to mind. Ooh, she told me she was building a house, and I haven't even followed up with how her house is. And like a bunch of people got married and had kids, and those are so many opportunities that I can just catch up on that so that I can start conversations. That's what I like.
That's awesome. I liked that too. I like how when she does it, it like jogs your memory for sure. Anybody else?
I am the same with Alexis. That really brought people to mind, especially since I've been away for a while. It
Right.
really made me start thinking of who I can reach out to again.
Awesome. I agree. Anybody else? No, no one's back. Okay. So for the first chapter, she's just not that into you, or is she? So I like this one because they talked about like people being stuck in your funnel and how distracting and frustrating and emotional and energetically draining it is. I totally agree with that because there's so many people that I just haven't, asked the question, or I did ask the question but haven't returned to them or something along those lines. And so just having those people not going through our funnel is difficult. And it, like she said, it's draining because you don't know where they stand, they don't know where you stand, and being professional and asking them the question is so important. She talks about that throughout the whole book pretty much. And, like Anslea said previously, this is a business for all of us. This is not, some hobby that we do on the side. This is a business. We want it to ultimately be our source of income. So we have to treat it professionally as a business. Working appointment to appointment, I have not really done that very well because I don't want to bother them, or I don't want to be pushy or something like that, but we're not pushy, we're professional. So I love that. So the other thing, if you're truly reaching out to enough people to keep your funnel full, you won't have any attachment to the outcome of any one person. And before I was like, well, I reach out to people, but it's not enough to not be emotional about it, because it's like, well, I want them to join, and then you feel kind of, like you're stuck with those few people that you reached out to. So if we're constantly filling our funnel and going through our funnel, we should not have any attachment to any outcome that somebody says. And like I said, in the beginning of my journey, that was really important to me. It was like I wanted everyone I talked to join. Doesn't work that way. So she said at least 3 to 5 new people a day. So we need to let go of the fear of losing what we don't have. So if somebody isn't already on the team, then we shouldn't be afraid to ask them those questions. We shouldn't be afraid to be forward and upfront with what is it called? So like when we want a person to come onto our team instead of be a customer, we have to ask them for the 60-day 90 commitment. We have to ask them to keep their subscription on. And, those are for sure questions that we need to make sure that they say yes to. If they don't say yes to those, then they need to be customers. And sometimes we get into the mode of, I want to build a team, I want to, continue this, but we need to qualify. That's the word I was looking for. Qualify our people. Because if we don't qualify our people, then we see a lot more attrition than we should. The other thing that she talked about in the beginning was asking a lot of questions. Sometimes I get stuck on this because it's like, I don't know what else to ask. But, we need to ask really good health and wellness questions. What are their goals? What are they looking to accomplish? What are their timelines for those goals? Because some people's timelines are, I want it now, when we know that that's not going to happen. So, being realistic with them about how natural our products are instead of going, yeah, you could lose 30 pounds in 30 days. Yeah, no, that's not healthy, and no one should want to do that. And most of the time it's water weight, and we need water in our bodies. So just make sure you're asking another question. If you get stuck, ask another question, because a lot of people don't want to make a decision because they don't know all of the answers that they're questioning about, even though they don't know how to ask you questions. All right, so the first big bold was can't get someone on a three-way call. Has anybody on here had a problem before of getting someone on a three-way call? What was the reason that they didn't want to come on a call?
Most people just say they only want to talk to me and not some strangers that they don't know.
That makes sense.
I just had one that put me on ignore. She won't respond to me at all now.
Really?
With no explanation, no nothing. She just.
So I get a lot of that too when I, talk about a three-way call, and I guess they don't understand what I'm trying to say, or I don't know, they stop responding is basically what people do.
So I think people are afraid to be intimidated, especially with our business being so well known now, not necessarily Plexus, but network marketing. People are afraid that they're just going to try to be sold something, or they're going to be pressured into building a business or something along those lines. And, we need to kind of figure out a way to let that wall down for them, and using words like my friend or something like that rather than my business partner. And we were just talking about being professional, but in reality, sometimes that part scares people away. So talking about my upline, my business partner and friend who I joined with in this company, I would like to, if you don't have any more questions, but she did give us some scripts in there to help people who ignore you and help people who just are afraid to get on a call like that. So make sure you go back in there and look at those scripts, because I think those would really help. And reaching back out, Val, reaching back out to her, continually doing that, and not necessarily about Plexus in the future, but in a few weeks going, hey, how's it going? Haven't heard from you for a little while. Or, if you see something on Facebook that she posts, reach out about that. If she's got kids or if she has grandkids or whatever the case may be, ask how they are. And the following up, that's going to be the next chapter, but following up is the most important part of our business. I know yesterday we kind of talked in our meeting about something called Teamzy. Has anybody heard of Teamzy? So Teamzy is an online, what would you describe it, Alexis? Like an online IPA?
An IPA sheet, but it has everything for you with a calendar built in and everything.
Yeah. So there's a calendar. You can upload your Facebook group on, like your friends list on there. You can go through that. You can add new people that you have. Since I've started in this business, I have not found something that works for me, a process. Yes, I can do that. Debbie asked if I can link that in and let you guys see it. Yes, I can. But anyway, so the person who did the call yesterday, Monica, pause really fast. This is my time of the month. My brain is fried. So that's why I'm stumbling over all of my words and it's frustrating. But anyway, so with the team, it gives you scripts of follow-up. Like if you follow up for the 9th time, this is what you should say. If you follow up with somebody who hasn't said anything back to you, anything like that, they have those scripts in there for you. It does cost money. There's a full month free that you can do just to see if you like it, see if it works for you. But it reminds you to reach out to the people. Like she said, she had somebody who was in her last month of pregnancy, and then she wanted to be reached out 3 months after she had the baby. So that's 4 months later or so, you know, and so if she didn't write that down in there, she would have forgot about it, you know. And you can use it on your phone, you can use it on your computer, your tablet, whatever. It was $2.99 for a full year. You get 2 months free, or $30 a month. Like I said, you get that first month, but I love the fact that it's all in one place, because I have like this notebook and that notebook and these papers, and when I go places, if I want to, you know, actually work, if I bring all that, it's like a stack this big of a whole bunch of stuff that I don't really need. But it helps, like I said, with those scripts and all that. So keeping your master list in one place. She talks about that in here too, about her master list being on a Word document where she just goes through. But you can't really take your Word document on your phone unless you know how to do that. I don't. But you can get on the internet pretty much anywhere. I mean, we have data and we have Wi-Fi, you know, if you go to a coffee shop, and you can do that and you can write it down on there, what you did and what you guys talked about. So, I don't remember why I went on that rant, but Teamsy, awesome. I'm super excited. I want to use it. Like I said, no other system. I tried the note card system. Nope. I tried the notebook system because it would be all in one place. Nope. So I'm going to try this and see if it works. So I've heard a lot of good things. There was a Plexus ambassador who had posted something on there about how awesome it was, and so I thought that was pretty cool. There's all sorts of other network marketing people on there. Okay, so we're still talking about can't get someone on a three-way call. So this says, don't leave people dangling in your funnel. Push them through and move on to the next person, because that's how you grow your business. So if you cannot get somebody on a call, maybe they're just not right for this business, because if they're not willing to meet new people, they're not willing to open up, right, you know, right now, they may not be right for this business. You want people who want to meet new people, because if they don't, they will not grow. Yes, there are people who grow into that and who are scared at first that want to grow, but that's completely different than people who are just like, nope, not happening. So, you know, talk them through that. And if they will not do it, move on. Don't be attached to that. Move on. Okay. You've done a three-way call, but she won't make a decision. So what is our best friend in any situation when we get stuck?
Questions.
Yes, ask questions. So she said it again, ask questions. So this whole that she won't make a decision, a lot of times they don't want to be consistent every single month. So I liked when she explained to her what the list of somebody, what the characteristics would be of somebody who wants to do this business. So that's those little stars. Can somebody read me the first one? It's on page 117 if you guys
I can do it.
Okay.
This is a people-centric business, and clearly you love people and talking to them. So you've got that covered.
Awesome. Can somebody read the second one? And then we're going to have somebody read the third one. So get ready.
I can do it.
Awesome.
This business requires at least 10 hours a week of constant activity. Do you still think you want to devote 10 hours a week to this?
Perfect. Next one.
As we've talked about, this business is simple, but you have to be coachable and willing to learn the simple system. Are you coachable?
Perfect. Terrific. You said yes to all of these answers. Then let's get started. So you can sign them up, or if she is still dragging her feet, she said, so if you know that you're willing to learn how to build this, Sorry, guys. How to build this, Mary. Can I teach you how to build this? And there are loads. I can teach you how to build this, and there are loads of people just like you who are successfully building businesses. I must ask you, do you believe you have what it takes to do this business? So a lot of times, we get people on our team who don't believe in themselves, who are afraid to step out of their comfort zone. I think that's pretty much everybody. I know that there are so many things that I'm afraid of, and I didn't realize that I was afraid of those things until starting this business. So, putting yourself out there and sometimes being told no, with all of us, or most of us, being people pleasers, or we really like people and we want them to be happy and healthy and successful. It's hard because we pour ourselves into what they're doing, but we cannot make them believe in themselves. We can hold them up and we can say, hey, I believe in you, but until you believe in you, you are not going to succeed in this. So I like the part that she said, we're not therapists. That's true. But we are friends and we do care about each other. So we can lift each other up, but we can't do it for them. So when she said, I'd be honored and thrilled if I were somehow a part of you learning how capable you are and that you too can have something successful, lucrative, and fun for your very own. Would that make you happy? And I'm sure that most people would say yes to that question because we all want to have fun. We all want, something that's ours that we can share and create a legacy for our family and all that. So, bringing them in and coaching them, that's what we're here for. We won't. So I love that. We're here to help others succeed, and it's a privilege, not a burden. So if somebody is like, I don't want to help other people, I don't want, to reach out to all these people, we probably don't want them on our team again. So the next one is, it all sounds great, but she just can't decide. I love that she's assigned simple homework. So this is something that we have any business builder who comes onto our team or somebody who wants to make at least their own, what they've put into the company back. So even if they're a wholesale ambassador who wants their products paid for, assigning this simple homework would be really good. So she said to write down your reason why for wanting to do this business. We've already talked about it, I know, but to solidify it for yourself in writing. So I think that's super important because it gets people more motivated and excited about what the company could do for them, or the products or anything like that. So the second one, can somebody read the second one for me? It's on page 120.
Sit down with a pad and pen and write down everyone you know. Then put stars by your top 30 dream teamers, the people you love to build something with, even though you have no idea if they'd be interested.
Awesome. So that's important because they've already got their master list started. So if they are going to continue in the company, then they can, use that list. And then she said a little bit further down that with having that list, she can give you referrals. So it's already set there. It's already good to go. You don't have to say, so do you know anybody who would benefit from this? Well, they already do because they wrote those down for themselves. So number 3, somebody.
I got it. I want you to think about your why, and if you don't pursue this business, how else will you get to where you want to be? What's your plan B? Write it down.
Perfect. So a lot of times people don't really start dreaming until they see what this business can actually do for them and their family. And so they usually don't have a plan B, or it's work until retirement, and then hopefully you have money after retirement to, feed your friends and family and all the stuff that you want to do for your why. So this type of business is the best way to make the money to do what you want for your why. Whether your why is part of what this business does or if it's something completely different. This type of business, network marketing, is the best way because you don't have to clock in and clock out. You should, but you don't have to. every week you can do the hours, the 10 hours that you're supposed to do, but you can do it on your own time instead of having to go into work, get dressed, because that usually takes me an hour to shower and all that stuff. So do that and then come home and all that stuff. So, you're here, you're ready to go. You can call people all from home. So this is the best thing. So they should not have a plan B, but they may, and listen to that if they do. All right. So this one, they've gone MIA. Valerie, did you read this part? Yes. Okay. So I love that she gave multiple examples. So I think we all should put like these things on this page so that we know it's just like page stoppers or whatever, just so we know this. So if somebody is MIA, we know exactly what to do. The other part that I loved about this one was when she talked about common knowledge doesn't mean common action. So true. When I went to my first in Vegas for conference, or what is it called? You guys, my brain. Convention, thank you. Anyway, so I went to convention that first year, and holy moly, I was like, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. This is amazing. And I came back with a fire in my tushy, and it was time to go. And so, yes, you do need to put stickies in the whole book. It's amazing. But anyway, it was time to go, and it was like, how can all these people that are telling me no or not writing me back? Sorry, there's people outside my door. I was like, who is that? There's men walking outside my house. All right. Anyway, so how do they not know what I know? Or they do know what I know, but they don't see what I see. The vision that I got from that convention, I was like, like it was amazing. And these people don't see what I see yet, and they may have the knowledge because I gave it to them, but they still don't see it. And that's okay, because there's so many people in the world that we can bring into our team and we can have here that sees the same vision that we see. And if they don't see the same vision, then maybe they're not right for our team. That's what it may come down to. And don't be attached to the outcome. That is so hard for me. I'm going to say it a million times over and over because kick them through the funnel. Exactly. The tunnel or funnel?
I meant funnel.
Yes. So, we need to keep going, but it's hard when we want everybody to be healthy and happy. But move on. Okay. Don't be afraid of no, because no's will get you closer to a yes and closer to finding people who are way into you or our business model, your company, and building something of their very own. That should not have tongue-tied me, but it did. So I love this. I thought it was really good. This chapter, she's just not that into you. Remembering to move on. That's the biggest thing that I got from it. Move on if they're not that into you. There are more people out there. But asking questions to find out what their hesitation is. Because a lot of times people are scared. That's the biggest thing. People are scared. So allowing them to feel open enough with you to let you in and know what they're actually afraid of. Because it could be different for each person. Okay, so the fortunes and the follow-up. Yes, this is so important. And we talked about Team Z today, Monica, because, yes.
I was on my phone. I am very sorry about the expletive.
I'm like, who is that?
I was in my car and then I looked at my phone and was like, I could have muted that.
That was so funny.
Whoops. Hello.
Hey, now I know.
Sailor.
Sailor at heart. That's right. It's so good.
Oh my goodness.
No.
So yes, I on that the whole everything we just talked about, that is where I'm finding myself letting myself get stuck, because I have people I know they would just rock this for themselves and for people around them. And I have one woman in particular, and I know she's so busy. She's a single mom. She's got 2 boys who are in soccer. She works 60 ridiculous hours a week. And if she's not at work, she's taking them to all of their soccer matches and all of their other extracurriculars in school and whatever. I want this so badly for her, but I want it more than she does. And she just doesn't see it and doesn't have the time. And I totally understand, because she does not have the time. But a 5-minute conversation here and there while she's at a soccer match, or, I see it, she doesn't. And it was hurting my feelings so bad for the longest time. That's foolishness, but it stopped me from meeting with other people, going out. I just went, ugh, she said no, forget it. She didn't say no. She just won't do any of the things that I'm asking her to do. Mm-hmm. She comes to the challenges, but she doesn't buy the products for the challenge. She's getting it. Eventually, I'm sure she's going to understand how great an opportunity this is. But in the meantime, I need to move on. And one of the last sentences in that last chapter was love the process. That has been so hard, but that's totally it. I just have to get over my introverted not liking to people, because sometimes it's going to be great. Sometimes I'm going to meet people who become friends, and that's a good thing all on its own. And there you have it. So getting on with it. Yes, the follow-up. Ansley talking about signing those people, I think last month or the month
Get
before.
down and give that thing your vital signs, please.
For 2 years.
Now.
For 2 years. I mean, 2 years. Okay, I can't sit here and wait for them for 2 years, so I get it. Yep. Get on with the follow-up.
Mm-hmm. It stalls you, because I know that I've done that. There's multiple people that I have waited for, and it's like I have not pursued other people because I'm waiting for these people, and it's like, why? Because they'll see it eventually, but
exactly. I think it's kind of related to that one, don't celebrate your wins before they happen. They're kind of rolled together and you think, woohoo, they're going to sign. It takes the pressure off me a tiny bit. Yep. And this is but it's not all about that. So get on with it. What else do you have to do today?
Yep.
The things, let's do them.
Yep, exactly. I agree. Anybody else want to say anything before we move on? No? Okay. So, follow-up. Yes. Fortune is in the follow-up. I say this all of the time. So most people need to hear what you have to say over 7 times. I know that they've said that, before. I know they've said it 10 times, and they've said all that stuff. But a lot of times people in our business do not follow back up. They do not go back to that person after the first contact. And there was a statistics, she said that they are BS in here, but the statistics that I've read are, it goes down so much with people not reaching back out. And then it goes, more probability of people to sign up the more you reach out to them. There's people that I've given samples to, there's people that, that are said they're ready, and then they weren't, and then they did, and then they weren't. And but because we are all in this for the long haul. We're all in this for a long time. We are not going anywhere. That guy that I was telling you guys about yesterday, he said, I just don't know if I want to commit. And I said, okay, well, when you decide to commit, I will be here. He was like, okay, you're not going anywhere? I said, no, my business and me, we're going to be tied together for a very long time. So we're not going anywhere. When you're ready, I'll be here. And that's it. And then you move on. So instead of going like, oh, man, I really wanted him to sign up, go, okay. Because if he signs up because I pressure him, he will not stay committed. Doesn't matter if it's a girl, a guy, or whoever. If we pressure them into it, most of the time they do not stay committed because it's not their time. They have to decide to do it. Just like when I did that competition, it's the same thing. I took the products the way I needed to. I went to the gym, all of that. It didn't matter if I had a trainer here or a trainer online or a trainer at all. I decided that I wanted to do it and I made it happen. Just like with this business, when we commit and we decide to do this business and put in the work and take the action, we succeed. We see a difference. But if we are not going to commit, we can talk to each other until we're blue in the face. Is it breaking up? A little. Okay. Anyway, we can talk to each other and to our downlines and to our upline until we are blue in the face. But until we decide to commit and take that action, we will not see the results we want to see. So fortune is in the follow-up. So she said marketing, and in our case, social marketing, must be an ongoing process in order to be successful. This is so difficult for me. I know Nancy posted in the page yesterday about posting on Facebook, you know, comparing yourself to others and comparing their journey and comparing all that. Comparison is the thief of joy. So, you know, I know we've all done it before, at least once in our life, you know, but when we decide that this is our journey and this is how we are going to succeed, it's going to be so much better and less stressful on ourselves, you know, because like I said, through Facebook, through Instagram, you look at all these people who have succeeded, who are diamonds, who are all this stuff, but you weren't there when they struggled. You didn't know what they went through. You didn't see how hard it was for them to reach out to that person, that dream teamer that they finally reached out to, that finally joined their team, that rocked the business. You know, you didn't see that. But they reached out. They did it scared. They continued, you know, and that's why they are where they are. And that's why we are where we are. You know, we got to just keep pushing through. Your journey is completely different than my journey. But the people who are going to succeed in this business are going to follow up more than the people who won't succeed. They're going to get out there. They're going to talk to more people. They're going to be vulnerable. And they're just going to keep going. She talked about the amount of noise that each of us is bombarded with every single day. So on Facebook, that is one of the reasons that I don't like to get on there, is because there's so much negativity. There's so much, you know, so much stuff going on. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to see it. It's noise, you know, and there's other people that are trying to do network marketing, that are trying to sell people things, and, you know, that aren't doing it the proper way by reaching out to people and saying, hey, you know, will you go to this party? Will you do this? They're just sending these, you know, bulk invitations out, and people want to feel like, you know, they're special. So we have to take that time to make them feel like they're special. So she says reach back reasons. There's multiple. So reach back reason number 1, it's on page 126. Can somebody read that to me? And what they got from that section?
I can read it.
Awesome. Thanks, Kat.
Reach back reason number 1, to update them on your business. Whenever you hit a big milestone, it's a great reason to loop back, even if you perceive it's a little milestone, as long as it's forward motion. It can be talked about like being a big milestone. When you earn your investment back in your first check, reach out to the people you've spoken to thus far. I know we've talked when I first launched my business, and it was the right time for you. But I had to tell you what's happening in just a month. I've already earned back my investment, so everything from here on will help me save for the kids' college funds, go into your vacation fund, toward a down payment on the house, you know, etc. I think you should take another look. This could be the way for you to include what's in it for them based on what your prior conversation was.
Awesome.
Continue.
So let's just say a part of the next part. So when they promote into a title or earn company incentives, when people on your team experience successes, these are reasons that you want to reach back out. The big milestones, like she said, when you hit, silver, when you hit super silver, which I don't think they do that anywhere, but we can make it a thing, or when you reach gold, or when you hit those big milestones in our company, reach back out to those people. Like when you're promoted, the team experiences success. So just be honest with them. And then the other one, which I thought was so important, because there's certain people that I want to reach out to because of this, but in the beginning, we really don't know what we're doing. And we just reach out to people however we think, we can. And a lot of times people see that you struggle in the beginning. So reach back out and be honest. Say, I didn't know everything that I needed to about it. That brought somebody to mind just now. I need to write that person down so I remember to reach back out to them. Because, she started the company, but I didn't know how to tell her how to take the products properly because I was just following certain things. But now I know a little bit more about them, and I can cater it to what she actually needs as opposed to the, thing for everybody. All right. So reach back reason number 2, new product launches. Somebody be ready to read number 3. Okay. So number 2 is new product launches. So this is really important right now because we just launched a new product and our company is continually launching products. So we have our lean protein, we have 2 of them, and now they're doing the slay the season. So, getting people to do that with you if you want to lose the weight. If you don't want to lose the weight, but people who do, bring them onto it because the company is doing it. You don't have to set up a Facebook party. They're doing it for you. So when a new product launches, super important to reach back out to those people that said, I want this for weight loss. I want this for, skin. When we decided to launch, or when they launched our skin product, Joyum, when they launched that, they, there's certain people anti-aging that are like, oh my gosh, I really want something that deals with our microbiome. And that was new to me. I never knew that this was a microbiome. I knew that was in our gut, but that's something that I learned. So that's, reaching out to those people that are really, that really want those, changes. Okay, so reach back reason number 3. And through all of this, she gives us those scripts. So remember to keep these in here so that when you hear or when you think of somebody, go back to that page and go, oh, this is what I need to say to that person, because she succeeded in this business. So she knows what to say and what not to say. And she gives us really good options. All right, so reason number 3.
An event in their city. And I like this one because, say it was in Denver and I have a friend there, which I have a few friends there, like the opportunity meeting that I met you at, I can just invite them and, hey, I'm going to be in Denver for this. I knew you were interested in the past or something along those lines. Would you like to join me and we can get lunch afterwards? Kind of like you brought your friend. Like that's a great way. And if you can't go and meet up with them because it's too far, then just give them that option that it's there in their town, it's free or just a couple dollars or whatever the case may be. And then I like how she put referrals. Okay, you may not be interested, but do you know someone or do you have friends that would be interested or want to go with me, or however you need to follow up with that.
Exactly. Yep. I love that. So, and we have, go ahead, Debbie.
I haven't done it for a while, but one of the things that I used to do is I would just have little parties here at my house, like there used to be Tupperware parties or Mary Kay parties or whatever. I'd have Plexus parties here, but then it was always whoever came had to bring a friend with them. And everybody that came then, but they were like fun little parties. Like we had I hate to do it, but liken it to a bridal shower. Like we had fun little games. And I made little sample baggies and everybody took one home. And then I had bigger things that as they did stuff or answered the questions or whatever it was, they would get like a ticket. And then I had things out. Some of them Plexus products, some of them just other health related things. And then they would get to put their tickets in, like for a drawing, which of those things they liked. And then at the end we drew all that. But I used to do those probably every 3 months or so. And they really helped me to get quite a few customers and such. It didn't really grow my team so much, but it helped me with the customers. And now I'm saying it, I think I need to do that again for Christmas. But that's an idea, instead of just, oh, come sit at this table, listen to people talk. It was very much interactive, and we would bring things up like, okay, what's your worst thing? Like, and somebody said, I remember one time somebody said the smell of her husband's feet was the worst thing, health thing. So we discussed it in probiotic and then some other natural ways to help with that. And so, I don't know, they were just fun and interactive things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just an idea.
I love that. I love that idea. We do sip and sees, but I never thought about the games or anything. I did some of that with Mary Kay, but for some reason it just didn't come. I have so much fun talking about it that I don't think about these other, games for people to play. But I think that's amazing because it keeps people interactive and, say inviting a friend with you, or, if you bring a friend, then whatever. What did you say that they got something more if they brought a friend, or was it just okay? I think that's great. I love that. So if you have specific games that you played, will you put it in our group chat? And
this was a couple years ago. I haven't done this for a couple years, but just think of stupid bridal shower party games. Right. I mean, just stupid things, or word search, the first one and they were all Plexus or health related words, just silly things like that they could finish in 3 minutes.
That's awesome. I know that Val did some of those games when she did a Facebook party online, but doing that in person would be awesome. Like I have the little, what is it called? It has a catalog. I have the catalog, and people can look in there and find, what product has aloe in it, or if we've said that previously in the conversation and somebody already knows the answer, then they get something, a sample of something or something fun. I used to buy like little nail things for people, like nail files or, those little things, because I don't want to do candy because we're trying to stay away from the unhealthy stuff. But I think that's a great idea. We should all think about that for Christmas because that's coming up. And you can build your team with that too, because you can still talk about the business, especially if you do it with other people. So we have a sip and see on the 14th that we're going to do. And I think I'm going to incorporate some of those games because it's more fun and interactive than me going, rah, 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 rah. So, okay, perfect. Number 4, I'm going to read this one. Somebody be ready for number 5 and number 6 and number 7. Okay, number 4, good news or media coverage about your company. When they launched our Joyum, they were in the magazines, or the magazines were covering them. So that's important to be like, hey, we're featured in this. Or when they said we were like one of the top growing companies in network marketing, all of that kind of stuff, reaching out to them and saying, hey, I just found this out about our company. I thought it was really cool, and sharing it with those people. And, asking, I think she said asking for referrals again, kind of in that. All right, number 5. Who wants to read that one?
I'll do that one.
Yay! Thanks, Val.
To be a go-giver. The part that stood out to me is go-givers give to people by being helpful, being a connector, being genuinely interested in others, and singing others' praises. It's all about how you can serve. It's the simple and simple golden principle of life that I teach our team and our kids. Whatever you put out in the world is what you get back. Give to others and they will give to you. I believe in that like 100%. And I think the more we can pour into people, the more their confidence is built as well. Not just what we can give to them, but the more you pour into them, the higher they become.
Exactly. Go givers. I love that. It's learning about people and remembering what you learn about those people. And with the Teamzy, you can write that information down. I learned that this person does this for work. I learned that this person has 7 kids.
I was just going to say the same thing. I don't mean to be a Teamzy advertisement here, but yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, because my husband is so stupid good at this. He meets people and he remembers all these fine details. We were at a dinner party and he asked a couple how their trip to Spain or whatever it was had gone. And the lady said, "How do you remember that?" "Oh, you're a salesman." And we both were just like, what? No, that's what he does. He remembers all of these things. He doesn't remember anything at home, but that's okay. He remembers all of these things and he's had lots of practice. So I love the fact that on Teamzy, every silly connect you have with somebody that is not Plexus related can just be, "Hey, I ran into so-and-so at Target and we talked about nothing to do with Plexus, but there it is. And I gathered this little piece of something information about her that I want to remember for a later conversation." Something like that. Because I don't. It goes in, out, D, that.
Yep. When you have some
a notebook, not helpful.
Nope. Yep. Awesome. I love it. Perfect. Go givers. And writing that in Teamzy. So we're all going to get Teamzy and we're going to be a Teamzy team that is through Plexus. So, no, I'm just kidding. But I really do want to get it because I know that that's going to help me in the future to stay organized. I'm usually really organized, but this makes me all crazy. Okay, number 6. We got a team member who wants to read it. Monica wants to read it.
I do. Pregnant, new baby, or kids starting school. Everybody is starting to drop like flies. Everywhere I turn, there's either a new mommy, a new baby, a new pregnancy, or the ick coming home from school or activities or whatever. It is such a good time to talk about all of it. Someone in my house ate all of the elderberry gummy bears. And everyone else is sick. So somebody else was thinking about themselves and decided to stay well. That's one way, sure. The other is their X Factor Kids Plus. You know, X Factor Kids, whatever. Anyway, yeah, it's a good time to talk about it.
Yep, exactly. So reach back out to those people. There was somebody that came to mind that I thought of. She just had a baby, and before she had the baby, she said, "Reach out to me after I have the baby." Ta-da! Light bulb, do it. Okay, so reason number 7. Team, come on. Let's read it.
Number 7, I'll read it.
Thanks, Kat.
I think this is the easiest one to do. You want to go back to people in your funnel when someone just like them does something noteworthy. When someone just like them joins your team. "Hey, Lisa, it's Romney, and I was just thinking of you because I had a teacher join my team last night. My new business partner, Mary, is really excited for me to help her build a business that will match her or exceed her teaching salary so she can ultimately spend more time with her kids. I couldn't help but wonder if you wanted to take another look at our business, since I know you would love to drop all the tutoring you do over the summer." This is one I've never used before. It's really good. You know, it gives you something else to think about, another point of connection, another point of re-referencing to them. So this one is really good. And I'll have to remember it for anything else the next time. But then, of course, it has to apply like what we were just talking about. You have to actually know those things about those people. You have to remember those things about those people. Or you have to have them written down so you can, reference them and go back and say, for instance, you do sign somebody, then you go back, who else do I know that, I could pair them with,
Exactly. Monica, you were talking about a single mom with 2 kids. I know Tammy, she was a single mom. She has her 2 kids, and she's working this business. She's made it to gold. So that might be somebody to you two stay in contact with and maybe talk to her about it when she's ready.
That's true. These words too, the way she put the words all together that sort of referenced somebody's maybe pain point or a solution to something they hadn't considered. That's so good. That is such a good little script. Yes.
Yes. Woo. Awesome. All right. So we have 1 minute. I'm going to say one more thing before we hop off here, but the get into action. So she wants you to possibly do a reach out day or reach back day where you reach back to people. I do too. I think that is so good because, sometimes we add those into the people that, throughout the week, but if we take a whole day and reach out to people or reach back to people, that's awesome. Follow up Friday, where you reach back to those people. All right. She said, just follow up. That's it. How upset would you be if you reached out 4 times to someone, but it was another business builder who reached out on the 5th exposure? When it is the right time for your prospect and she joins that person's team or becomes her customer, she should have been yours. I will give you one story about, I had seen Plexus multiple times in college. There was a friend of mine who lived in Florida, and she was pregnant, and she was taking Plexus throughout her pregnancy. And so I would see it occasionally being dripped. She never reached out to me. And then I had somebody who reached out to me about the business from California, and I reached out to her when I started, and she told me that she reached out to me. It wasn't memorable to me because I was so busy with everything I was doing in college that I didn't remember her reaching out, but she only did it once and never said anything again, and I had people reaching out to me for other businesses. And because I like to talk to people. I like people. So people know that about me. And so when they reached out to me, it was like, oh, it felt so good that somebody was confident in me about doing something like this. But I knew that business wasn't for me, but I found Plexus, and I finally found somebody who actually talked to me about it, but it was in person. And so I decided to sign with her. And that's why I ended up on this team instead of a different team. And the girl who was posting on Facebook kind of slowed down. She isn't working that business anymore. I don't know if she's taking the products, but she isn't working the business. And so that wasn't my time. My time was when I started my business in Burns and then decided to add this on to that. That was my time to do this. So you guys could have reached out to me a long time ago and I probably wouldn't have remembered, but it has to be on their time. So don't stop following up. That's the biggest thing, so that they know to come to you. There's people that, have heard about Plexus, but they ask me questions. Even though I haven't reached out to them, they ask me questions because they know that I am a part of it and what I do, with training and stuff. So let them know that you're a presence of Plexus. That's why it's so important to drip that information onto those people. So don't stop following up, period. Done. Okay. Does anybody have any questions before we hop off of here? I really liked this chapter, and I really appreciate you guys coming on here and doing this with me, because I was really nervous at the beginning of this conversation. So I appreciate you guys doing this with me and loving me where I'm at, even though it's that week where there's nothing in here. So I appreciate every single one of you. If you have any questions, let me know. But if not, we will see you next week. And don't forget to do that get into action on that page, the last page.
And we are doing 10 and 11 next week?
Yes. So 10 and 11, Ansley she should be back by then. I know Tuesday she will be on an airplane, I think. Or
I'm
was
supposed to be doing it.
awesome. So she is going to be on an airplane on that Thursday. So Alexis is going to do it. And I am pumped to hear about that. So numbers 10 and 11, right, Alexis? Perfect. 10 and 11 next week. Get into action, read your book, and be awesome. Thanks, guys.